My name is Arya. I'm from Afghanistan. I came 2 years before to Sweden. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for my residence. Until now, I'm not got residence yet. I come from Herat city. This is the west part of Afghanistan. Unfortunately, it's very religious part of Afghanistan, and it's so difficult to be homosexual. And when they go to the mosque, the mullah people say that if you find homosexual person, you have right to kill him immediately. The most important thing is that you kill by your family, by a person that is you're part of him. You kill by your fathers, you kill by your brothers, you kill by your uncles, you kill. I cannot imagine. I really cannot imagine that it's possible that in here you have rights for marriage, have rights for working with like others, right to study like others, respect from the people like a normal person. I can take my boyfriend hands and I kiss him and be proud of him, and he proud of me. That's amazing. That's what I searched for many years, but I don't know where I should find that. But fortunately, I went here.
Is that your sign, Zoe? Yeah.
You want to tell Kavita what it says? No.
No,
Really shy.
it's okay.
It's a secret.
WelcomeOut is a pride for the newly arrived. What that means, though, is that it's a pride for people who usually aren't really that visible in a pride circumstance.
My name is Semi. I'm here in Uppsala and I'm so excited for this pride. So I hope to enjoy and meet new people and be able to express myself for the person I am. And happy pride, Uppsala people. Thank you.
Sometimes we tend to simplify things by saying before and after story. Before, when they were in their countries, it was miserable, and then they come to Sweden and it's golden. But it is not like that. They still have to struggle with getting to know Sweden and the structures, which are very tight, and everything is so bureaucratic in so many ways.
Most of them are in some way persecuted in their own country. So when they're coming and applying for refugee or asylum process, we want to help them by accepting them and inviting them to be part of the society, and also inviting people native-born Swedes, so that there's a process of integration.
Some of these people, they have fled their origin countries, and then they come here to Sweden, and then it could happen that they were isolated again in their camps. I met many people who actually came here, and it was the first time for them that they discovered that there is actually a community. I myself remember what it was like coming from a small town. You're the only queer and you don't know anyone, and how amazing it is to just meet other queer people and feel like you belong, and this is very important to give to people.
Hello, hi. Selamat datang. My name is Fifi Saidin. I came from Malaysia. I am 27 years old. This festival so delightful. Seriously, many things we can gain from this festival. I was in this festival last year. So this is my second time this festival. Last year I was a participant, and it gave me so much inspiration to come again this year to be as a volunteer.
We're basically marching for equality and for everyone's right to love who they love and not be hated because of it.
We're the most open city, the most progressive city, the most loving city, and that's what this parade is all about. Right, Joey?
I remember that it was January of 2016. A lot of activities that were organized were kind of organized around drinking or fighting or fucking. And I don't mean like punching people and fighting, but like the movement was kind of developing in opposition to things. And of course we had this big refugee crisis in Sweden, and then I was thinking about the numbers, and the numbers are something like 200,000 asylum seekers a year in 2015. 5% of that is thousands and thousands of LGBT people.
The idea was pretty congealed already, like when it was presented to everybody, but it was a bit fluffy. We kind of had to like decide how we were going to sell this to other people, basically, to get them on board to be part of the project, and also how to fund it. I mean, that was the first year, that was the big question. How are we possibly going to get money for this?
Yes, we started with no money. We started with no people. We started with me. I contacted the Uppsala commune and asked. Started contacting the community like February or something, and it took a long time to get back to me. Yeah, but we did it without any corporate sponsorship, and it was imperative that the festival be free. Like, we weren't going to charge any money because it was supposed to be the people that we were reaching didn't have any money. It was so amazing when the first train started arriving with the asylum seekers. I remember the first year I was so, hyper and stressed, and everything felt so tense, and I remember being like, oh, they're here, they're coming, they're actually here,
Hey, I will put like Indian sorry like this.
Yes, I'm Indian.
Oh yeah, I just realized.
What I appreciate of the WelcomeOut, it's not just the parade, it's like a lot more. The everyday activism, the small stories, the small narratives, which cannot of course be expressed in the Pride, actually find their place and find their time and find their platform to be talked about.
Nakasha. I'm from Malaysia. I'm just come to Sweden from April, and it's just 5 months here in Sweden. I really love it because this the country that I feel like home, and I don't need to be scared or paranoid when I go out on the street or in the public. The place that I feel I'm very welcoming home, like it's my own place. You know, when I'm small, my dream is I want to be a teacher. I love to be a teacher. But how come I want to be a teacher? I'm a trans girl. If I be like this, I'm considered to criminal, but I don't think I make any criminal myself. And I tell her, Mom, I want to come to Sweden. I want to move to Sweden. And she tell me, yeah, of course I love you. And after this we will be very far apart. And then you go, follow your dream. You're still young. In that country you still can have time to become who you are and get your dream. Because your country now, Malaysia, is not for you. You cannot be real yourself. And people over there will always look negative and look down for you. Go wherever you go. I know after this, difficult to meet my parents.
I, as many people, have been living in my bubble of people that are exactly like myself, like white academics, often queer people as well. But I didn't know so many people of international backgrounds that were LGBTQ persons. So it was very interesting to meet these people and see that we have so much in common. We have so much more in common than what differs between us.
Short-time effect of an event like WelcomeOut is to show that other narratives are possible, that you can do something which puts people together, which be something positive, which is constructive, which also gives something to the community around, to the city of Uppsala in this case, and nothing bad happens. So people can see that you can have hundreds of LGBTIQ people together and nothing bad happens, and you can have asylum seekers around and nothing bad happens. So I think it's a very practical and very pragmatic way to show that we can be all together and nobody is stealing anything from anyone.
I feel like a family. I'm surrounded by people of my sexual orientation. I felt like I could talk to them about anything, which I couldn't with my biological family members, but that's a different topic. And I can do that with people who came to WelcomeOut, because although they have different perspective life, we have some common understanding or way of similar way we were prosecuted.
When you're working in it and struggling every day, you really wonder how is it that we're communicating with each other when we all come from such different backgrounds, professions, cultures, like languages are different. And I would say the most is so meaningful because it just shows that it is possible to have people from different parts of the world working for one objective and be successful.
It does feel nice to have completed this, regardless of the recognition. But I think that there's something missing still. We haven't found like a complete wholesomeness to running a project like this. There is something missing. And I think it's the recognition, but it could be something else. Because what I'm afraid of is that it's going to be just about the recognition, that if there ever comes a time where WelcomeOut is so well known, that it has a brand that people want to be attached to, that people are going to come to it as a way of just promoting their own careers or wanting to be part of it because it benefits their own agenda, which I don't think, I mean, that shouldn't be the purpose of the project, obviously. But there has to be a balance somewhere for the people who are part of it. Because at this point, like, there are parts of this have been so difficult and so exhausting mentally and physically, and we've really had very, very little room for reward. The reward has only been basically from the idea that once you're there, when you're there at the Pride picnic, that you look around and you see people who are sitting in the grass and they seem happy. That's the reward.
Something that was special about getting to do this is I got to be known for doing something that was not just being trans. I think for me, seeing a vision become a reality was mine. Seeing something go from being in my head to being real and tangible.